Welcome to the Lovin Dubai show. I'm Warid Ahmed.
I'm Farah.
And it's the start of a strong week. Now for today, we're going to be firstly discussing how the viral Dubai chocolate has caused a global pistachio shortage, Farah.
And after that, we're going to be talking about how Dubai police resolved a family dispute reuniting parents and a teenager.
Abu Dhabi has just opened an inclusive beach for the visually impaired.
And later on, we're going to be talking about how the first SyrianAir flight landed in Dubai yesterday.
Now, in today's rapid weather report, we have highs of 32 degrees and lows of 24 degrees. And it's not as windy as it was the past few days. How are you doing, Farah? How was your weekend?
Good. Yeah, it was all right. It was all right. Well rested.
It was good. Are you seeing what's happening with Lovin?
Yeah. That story is crazy, and if you guys haven't seen the Smashy business post, I highly recommend you do because it's really interesting how it was covered.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, but I feel really bad, you know.
I do too.
I really do. I was telling Farah this morning how when I was driving past their Barsha branch beside Mall of the Emirates, it was empty. It was like crickets. It was crickets. And if you know the Barsha branch, because I used to go to it, there's always lines, Farah. There's always like a bunch of Kareem and Talabat drivers who are standing there in long lines, and you have to wait like 30 minutes to get it. You have to wait a while. So I feel really bad, honestly, for them. Like I hope that there is something here that saves them. Like you know, this morning, like my cousin was telling me how he has a friend who works for Lovin, and out of nowhere, he just didn't have a job.
I know, it just happened out of the blue. Can you give people context in case they don't know what's going on here?
So basically what happened is that first, Lovin shut down all their stores in Saudi Arabia, and it was allegedly due to 26 poisoning cases. But then right after that, this is what followed, is that they closed all 110 of their branches in Egypt, and also the other companies that they own. They all shut down. And honestly, the reasoning is almost scary because basically Egyptian authority, when they did checks on them, they basically found that number one, they had poor storage. Yeah, they had poor storage. Number two, they found pathogenic bacteria in their food. They found food poisoning, and they also found banned food coloring that's being used.
Oh my gosh.
I remember I had a friend who once told me, like, why does a banana, why does the mangoes, why do they all look so perfect? Why does everything look so perfect?
That makes you question it.
But still, I have hope for them. I really have hope for them.
Maybe it's gonna be like a learning experience, and maybe they'll make better choices after that. I mean, they're still open here.
I think, by the way, you know, I have this theory that their last hope is honestly the branch in Dubai.
That's what I'm thinking as well, because like the Food Regulation Authority kind of thing, they do their checks obviously very regularly, and they give them all a grade and everything. So like,
exactly.
They're not gonna fly by doing things that they may have done in other countries. So I think the food safety levels here are a little bit higher, so they're not gonna fall down the branch of like food poisoning and all that stuff.
That's what I'm thinking too, Farah, because here I honestly trust every single store that I go to, and I'm a really picky eater, by the way. Like if I see something cooked in front of me and I like don't like the way that it's cooked, I'm walking out. I'm one of those people. But with here, I don't feel like I have that problem a lot, just because I know they're inspecting.
Exactly.
They're literally inspecting every single spot, like we're all gonna be good. But just speaking of food, the Dubai viral chocolate, it's caused a global pistachio. Viral Fix chocolate bar has sparked a global pistachio shortage. It went viral after a TikTok million views, and since then, demand for pistachio has exploded.
It's gotten so intense that Iran, one of the world's biggest pistachio producers, boosted exports to the UAE. Keep up.
And it's hitting prices hard. Now, in the US, pistachio prices jumped from $7.65 to $10.3 per pound, while in Turkey, shelled pistachios shot up from $24 to $41 per kilo.
Even with record harvests in Iran and the US, the global market is tight. High demand and limited shell supply are keeping prices sky high.
Now, nut trader Giles Hacking told the Financial Times, the pistachio world is basically tapped out. Chocolatiers are buying up everything that they can, leaving the rest of the world short.
It's honestly incredible. And the bar behind all of this is Dubai's own Fix, created by Sara Hamouda and Yazan Alani, now responsible for shaking up the world's nut supply.
This is absolutely crazy.
I know. Who would have thought?
They ran out of pistachio. Do you think that maybe we got too obsessed? I think that maybe we got too obsessed.
I think everyone was buying into the hype so much, and they wanted to try it in different countries. So every single chocolatier decided, I'm gonna make my version.
Farah,
that was it.
You think that this was just buying into the hype? Honestly, I think that this was like buying into Dubai. I just feel like all these like foreigners and Western people just like wanted to feel like, you know, we're in Dubai. Like we're going to Dubai. We have a taste of it. This is like a feeling of it, because that's what it's become. It's crazy. Like I remember when Fix became a trend. In my head, you know what I was honestly thinking? I'm like, this is so going to be like when they put Cheetos on everything.
Oh yeah.
Remember when they put Cheetos on mac and cheese?
Everything.
On burgers,
fries, everything.
Literally, absolutely. Like, remember Parker's?
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, you know what, this is going to be a trend. But it did not just become a trend. It became an entirely like not. It's like its own sector.
Exactly.
Like Dubai chocolate is its own thing. You know the way that we have cookies, we have brownies.
It became its own thing. Literally.
Exactly. It became its own thing. But wait, this just made me think about something though. You know how we mentioned that it was founded by Sara Hamouda and Yazan, their husband and wife? Farah, would you start a business with your husband? Would you honestly do that?
That's a good question. I don't. It's a loaded question. It's a bit complicated because sometimes it depends on your personality types.
You think?
Yeah.
I would not. I just wouldn't. I don't believe in doing business with family. I don't. I really don't.
Like family businesses for the most part. Sometimes it works out very, very well.
I think you'll be very biased. I think you'll be very biased. And I don't like this idea that, the person that I meant to go on honeymoons with, on holidays with, that I work with them. I just don't like that.
You think it will create a weird dynamic, right?
But see, this is the thing though. These businesses are so successful. Look how Fixed Chocolatier is so successful.
Oh my gosh.
So I do think something good can come out of it, because I feel like there is a sense of honesty that can only exist between one partner and another. But
that's true.
Right? Like there are things you'd say to them that you wouldn't just say to your like best friend maybe. But I wouldn't go for it. I really wouldn't. I'm not into that idea.
It's a risk for sure. So if you feel so confident in doing that, I mean, by all means. But I would sit it out.
You would sit it out?
I think
you
so.
would. Now, for our second topic today, Dubai police have successfully resolved a family dispute, reuniting a teenage girl with her parents after a conflict led her to leave home. Now, the parents reached out to the police to help convince their daughter to return.
The police swiftly arranged a reconciliation session where both sides were able to express their concerns. After listening carefully, they facilitated a peaceful resolution, restoring understanding between the teenager and her parents.
Now, Dubai police are urging parents to be mindful of their children's emotional development, especially during teenage years. Now, they emphasize the importance of patience, understanding, and wise guidance when navigating these challenges.
It's a powerful reminder that communication and support are key to maintaining harmony in family relationships. That was an interesting one. I never thought that Dubai police would ever get involved in something like that.
Honestly, no, I see it. I see it. And you know why I see it? I don't just think this signals to how like great Dubai police is. It just really does signal to the fact of Arab culture is like that. Don't you think Arab culture is always
Being
overly involved?
Exactly, mediating if there's an issue.
Exactly.
That's so true.
That's truly what, like when I saw this story, maybe for some people it may have been, you know, it may have been shocking, but for me, I was like, you know what, this sounds just about right. I remember when I was a kid, Farah, like the way that my mom would discipline me and my sister was honestly through embarrassment. Her bringing in someone, bringing in someone to mediate was not actually for them to find a solution and mediate. It was for us to be placed on the hot seat and to be embarrassed and to be like, do you see your behavior? Like someone just found out. Like we had a neighbor. She was this like very pious woman. She was so pious. She was so calm, very angelic. You know those people?
Okay.
And I remember whenever me and my sister would like do anything, my mom would call this woman. She'd be like, come see what they're doing, and she'd sit. It was so embarrassing. Oh my God, it was so embarrassing. That lady was not a part of my family. I do not know, and I do not know why my mom would call her. But how are you disciplined? I'm seeing the comment section in the post and it's killing me.
It's interesting. I just opened it up as well. So people are saying it's giving modern parenting. And some people are a little bit against it because they're like, I wasn't raised like this. Like, if I had an issue with my parents, they would come and figuratively whack me back into like discipline and stuff like that. They wouldn't need to call the police or they wouldn't even allow them to like leave the house and go stay with a friend, because that's in this case, that's what happened.
She stayed with a friend. And you know, the story is honestly really interesting. The fact that she stayed with a friend and they needed to involve the police to beg her to come back. I think that truly does tell me what kind of parents they are.
So that's what people are feeling as well.
I had parents like that, and because I thought like she ran away, like completely just ran away onto the wind, into the forest, like, you know, never coming back. But if I did something like that, no, my mom would come drag me by my ear and embarrass me and bring me back home. The fact that they didn't feel like they could come into the house and be like, girl, get out. And they were like, okay, we have to involve the police. I think it does say a lot about them.
Lots of people like have come to that same exact conclusion.
Everyone they're really nice parents.
They seem so modern. Like, would my parents do that? No, probably not. But they would be more of the, where do you think you're going type.
Oh, honestly, I would never run away.
No.
I just think, like, okay, what are you going to do? Like, okay, fine, a day passes, a week passes, like, what, like, it's not making sense here.
Yeah, but, like, what's the end goal here?
Exactly, but Farah, just, like, on the topic of, like, discipline, what do you think about the people who hit their children to discipline them?
Oh, gosh, no.
Because
totally
because look, to be honest with you, I can't argue against it, but I'm not like for it either, because I've seen like both sides of the coin. Like I have friends who were never like hit, and then I know people who were disciplined that way, and honestly, both turned out fine. Both turned out fine.
At the end of the day, I feel like people develop their own personalities. I mean, obviously, it does depend a lot on your upbringing and stuff like that, but in a lot of situations, it's just a personality thing. You and your siblings are raised the exact same way almost, but you're completely different people.
So you don't think it impacts personality? You know what
it will really, really depend.
Farah, you know what I honestly think like really impacts personality? Because I know that there are some theorists out there who think like hitting your kids, like, you know, it like destroys them. But like I was hit, and honestly, I think it made me who I am.
I get that.
Like, I think that I have a lot of my manners, a lot of my respect for elderly people. It's because of that. But I think for me, what I've noticed is with a lot of the like rebels, do you know what I mean? A lot of the kids who are like rebels, I've noticed that it wasn't actually either them being hit or not hit. It's the over involvement of the parents. You know when parents are like overly involved in their children's lives?
Yeah.
I don't know if you get what I mean. Like, for example, I'll give you an example. I knew this girl back in school, and I guess she had like awkward issues with people. There was this one time she was not invited to an outing. Farah, you know what her mom did? She called the parent of every single kid who was invited to the party.
Oh my God. And
Yeah.
then?
And she was like, why was my daughter not invited?
Oh my God, that is so
That
overly
is so,
involved.
that
it's
is,
embarrassing actually for the kids too.
it not only is it embarrassing, but this over involvement, like let your child build character.
Exactly.
They didn't get invited. What's going on there?
There's probably a reason.
Like build your own character. I noticed it's over involvement that makes kids do things like running away. Like you can't be like you need to just kind of let them go.
Yeah.
And let what happen. Honestly, like let your kids be responsible for dealing with their own problems. Obviously step in, of course.
If you need to, yeah.
Like my parents stepped in, but I don't know. That's just the theory that I have. But anyways, enough of that. For our next topic, we're gonna discuss how Abu Dhabi has just opened a dedicated 1,000 square feet beach zone for the visually impaired along the Corniche near Gate 3, build safety and fun in mind.
The beach zone features wheelchairs, sound cues, and it's with free access granted to visually.
Now, the new beach allows swimming from 6 a.m. to sunset with a licensed nurse is also on site for safety.
I feel like that's so amazing. It's such a great step forward. I feel like the UAE is constantly making leaps and bounds like this. Just to always make sure that everyone is included, every person of determination feels included in everything. So making the beach visually impaired accessible. How do I phrase that? Yeah.
A beach for the visually impaired.
Beach for the visually impaired and making it inclusive for them is such a great step. I mean, they did it for people who are like wheelchair bound and all that stuff in Dubai. And I feel like that's amazing to see that also happening in Abu Dhabi.
Oh, it's just, it's so amazing because it's, honestly, I would have never thought of something like that.
I know,
honestly,
right?
Even when I was reading the story, I was like, let me get this straight. You guys are making a beach for blind people. Like, I was like, whoa, like you're being out of this world accommodating. But more so than that, you know what honestly this makes me think of? So right now, Farah, so my grandma's in the hospital right now, and she's in, Mustashfat Rashid. I don't know why, I just don't know how to say it in English. When a term sticks in your mind in Arabic, and you're like, okay, now I can't say it in English, but she's in Rashid Hospital, and if you know Rashid Hospital, it's a government hospital.
Yeah.
And I was just, like me and my family were talking about it, and we were just like, if this is, if this is the amount of quality and treatment that you receive in a government hospital, because we were like comparing it to back home, and government hospitals back home, and here, girl, there are two different things.
I understand. I relate.
It's like so crazy the fact that this isn't even like private sector hospital, and it's this good.
I know.
It's the way that they accommodate for anyone, like someone sick, someone struggling with anything, like the quality is really high. Like
I love that.
Like I always used to be one of those people who's like, why is everyone always raving about Dubai? But I get it. Like I genuinely get it. Like I don't think that we're overdoing it. We're not overdoing it.
No.
Whatsoever.
It's so true. Like honestly, that's just how it is, and that's how a lot of people were like, raised into this. Like, it's so great to see, honestly.
It is great to see, and we're going to tell you about how, Syrians are doing in Dubai. Now, a Syrian Airlines aircraft landed at Dubai International Airport from Damascus International Airport, marking the resumption of direct flights between Syria and the UAE.
This step comes as part of an exceptional first phase announced by the airline in an official statement aimed at restoring regular air connectivity between Syria and the UAE.
Now, SyrianAir stated that this inaugural flight will be followed by a weekly schedule with plans to gradually increase the number of flights over the coming period. Now, it's currently operating 4 times a week, and the frequency is expected to rise to daily flights soon.
I feel like that's amazing.
It is amazing. And you know what this reminds me of? So, Farah, you did this story. Was she? Oh, she was Lebanese actually.
Oh,
She wasn't Syrian.
No, yeah, she was Lebanese.
Yeah, it was. There's this adorable video on Lovin Dubai, and it's of this lady screaming and watching her son land his first plane
In Beirut.
on Emirates Airlines,
On
right?
Emirates,
It was
yeah.
just, oh, I love that video. I love that. That is a supportive mom.
Yeah.
That is so adorable. Like for me, Farah, like just that level of support, it's so heartwarming, and honestly, like we need it. Like
True.
today in the morning, my cousin was telling me, he's like, oh, what show are you going to be on today? And I was telling him, and he's like, what time is it? I'll tune in. And those like, you know, those like small things, honestly,
Yeah, it makes such a difference.
they really make the difference. And I think with, you know, seeing like, you know, their landing flights from Syria to the UAE, you know, what this is really telling me is that things are really going back to normal in Syria.
Exactly. Like, inshallah, that's the hope, and that's what we all dream of, that
Yeah.
eventually connectivity between the UAE and Syria is going to just go back to the way it was before. I remember constantly flying from Dubai to Syria when I was a kid, since my mom is
Really?
Syrian. So,
Girl, why did I not know this?
you didn't know that?
Your mom is Syrian?
Yeah. I know, we're just...
This is
Look
like
at that.
this is a discovering moment for me.
Yeah. So we used to spend so many summers in Syria,
wow.
and obviously we stopped going at some point
Yeah.
because the war had started and all that stuff. It was a bit tricky, obviously, and then flights just wasn't available, and there was so many like issues. But now all of that is going to become slowly easier and all that stuff. So it's really good to see.
It is
And we
really
might
good to
potentially
see.
go back. Who knows? We can
Oh
visit
my God.
again.
You know what it is with Syria, by the way? My grandma actually had her honeymoon there.
No way.
Yeah, she did. She went to Damascus for her honeymoon, and honestly, I get it. I do
That's
get
an
it.
interesting
I do get it because
choice.
it's like I know that people always want to go to like for their honeymoon, they want to go somewhere tropical, but you just want to go somewhere where there's adventure, where it's like a
Yeah.
culture that you don't understand.
That's what I want.
And the kunafa that they make in Damascus, I mean, come on. I
know.
totally get it. I really do. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching my show.